The world's largest construction project, the Line, has made audacious promises since construction started, some too good to be true. But newly surfaced satellite images seem to be telling a different story. These shocking images expose the raw, unfiltered reality of Saudi Arabia's most ambitious project, the Line, which might just be crumbling before it even rises. Vast tunnels stretch across the desert. Thousands of trucks swarm the site, and entire new communities have emerged. But this is only a fraction of the bigger picture. What do these revelations mean for the future of the Line and Saudi Arabia's grand vision? Stay with us as we uncover the truth behind this audacious project. The world's largest construction project, known simply as the Line, has already begun to make its imprint on the Arabian desert. Saudi Arabia's wealthy crown prince wants the megacity to be seen from space. Satellite photos reveal how the terrain is changing. Where there was once sand and rock, now are vast tunnels, thousands of trucks and excavators, and entire new communities. Workers and their families have already started touting their new lives on social media. However, satellite images reveal settlements that have disappeared off the map. Neom is being built on Saudi blood, and the contentious project looks to be faltering, with media reports of cancelled contracts, slowed development, and skyrocketing expenses. Plans to welcome the first inhabitants to the Line in 2024 never materialized. So, is it really a smart idea to erect what architects have described as a big greenhouse in one of the world's hottest and driest places? We're talking about some of the highest temperatures ever recorded in this region of the planet. After examining some of the most recent satellite images from above and speaking with specialists, people are now a lot more concerned about this massive project. But let's take a closer look at the Line to see if Saudi Arabia's desert dream may just be a mirage, or if there's more to it. Neom, Saudi Arabia's massive giga project, is moving forward with all four of its main regions now under construction. However, one of its most ambitious developments, the Line, is expected to take about 100 years to fully complete and populate. Neom's deputy CEO, Ryan Fayez, and Chief Development Officer, Dennis Hickey, shared updates at the World Economic Forum in Davos. They confirmed that all parts of Neom are underway, including the mountain region of Trojana, the coastal area of Magna, the islands of Sindala, the port of Oxagon, and the flagship linear city, the Line. Oxagon and the Line are planned to be Neom's economic hubs, while the other regions will focus on tourism and nature. However, official updates on the project are limited, and there has been some uncertainty about its progress. The Saudi government originally aimed to have 1.5 million people living in the Line by 2030, but that target has now been reduced to fewer than 300,000. Building an entirely new city from scratch is a huge challenge. Hickey compared Neom to a new state, saying it's not just about constructing buildings but creating a city with a clear vision and purpose. He even mentioned that Neom is designed to last for over 100 years and drive economic growth. Fayez shared an analogy from Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who compared Neom to an iPhone and traditional cities to an old Nokia phone. The goal is to make Neom a model for the future of urban development, but will that really happen? The project has drawn both excitement and skepticism. Some see it as a groundbreaking innovation, while others doubt its feasibility due to its scale and regulatory challenges. Some of the people in charge of the project have mixed reactions and even stressed the need to educate people about Neom's goals and benefits. Executives provided updates at the World Economic Forum in Davos, sharing insights on the progress of this groundbreaking project. The initial goal was to have 1.5 million residents in the Line by 2030, but reports suggest this number has been reduced to fewer than 300,000. However, Saudi officials have denied scaling back their plans. Despite the ambitious vision, many experts believe the project will take much longer than originally expected. Neom's Chief Development Officer Dennis Hickey spoke about the challenges and innovations involved. Hickey described the Line as more than just a city. It's a framework with a unique grid structure. He compared it to Manhattan, but stretched out and built vertically, making it a new new way of organizing urban living. The plan is to create a city that can eventually house 9 million people, but filling it up will take a century or more. Massive excavation work is already underway, with thousands of trucks and excavators working around the clock. The goal is to start pouring foundations soon and go vertical by the end of the year. However, given the scale of the project, many remain skeptical about how quickly it can be completed. One key part of the project is a transportation network connecting Oxagon, the Line, and other regions. A rail system has been planned, with discussions about whether freight transport should use traditional rail or autonomous vehicles. The port at Oxagon is also being expanded to handle heavy shipping traffic near the Suez Canal. Meanwhile, work on Magna, a luxury resort area in the mountains, has begun. Engineers are excavating the inside of a mountain to create a high-end resort with hotels, residential spaces, and retail areas. This process is similar to mining, with tunnels being carved out from the inside to create a hidden getaway. Neom is being promoted as a futuristic city that will redefine urban living, but it faces significant challenges. While some see it as an exciting vision for the future, others question its feasibility. With construction moving forward, time will tell how this ambitious project unfolds. Trojana is currently under construction, set to become a major destination for winter and water sports. It has been chosen to host the 2029 Asian Winter Games, which will take place in January or February of that year. The development is part of Saudi Arabia's ambitious NEOM project, aiming to create a unique location where visitors can experience snow-capped mountains in the desert. Construction work is already in full swing. According to officials, major projects are progressing rapidly. One of the biggest features under development is an artificial lake, which will add to the attraction of the region. In January 2024, Reveale, a global construction company, signed a contract worth $4.7 billion to build this lake. Along with the lake, work is also underway to build the village that will host athletes and visitors for the games. The scale of the construction is massive, with many different elements coming together to bring Trojana to life. The goal is to create a world-class sports and tourism hub that offers activities like skiing, snowboarding, and water sports in an environment that blends futuristic technology with natural beauty. With some developments already happening, it is well on its way to becoming a reality. The idea behind the line. When you step back and look at how traditional cities are laid out, you see patterns of expansion and clusters of neighborhoods that eventually merge into a congested mass of roads, commercial centers, and isolated residential zones. In contrast, the line is designed to be a continuous, linear settlement that cuts through the harsh desert, minimizing its footprint on the environment while maximizing connectivity and efficiency. Rather than having to drive or take lengthy routes to access work, schools, or leisure activities, residents will be able to walk or use rapid transit systems to move easily from one end of the city to the other. The idea is to eliminate the need for cars altogether, replacing them with high-speed, AI-coordinated transportation that promises to cover the entire length of the city in just 20 minutes. This vision of urban living doesn't merely promise convenience, it offers a way to live that is healthier, greener, and more community-oriented. As you explore what life in the line might actually look like, you quickly realize that this isn't a project built around one-dimensional ideas. The planners imagine neighborhoods where living, working, learning, and relaxing all converge in one harmonious space. Picture a typical day. You wake up in your modern, eco-friendly home, step outside, and in just a few minutes you're at your local school, your office, or even a park filled with lush greenery and water features that help cool the desert heat. The design philosophy behind: instead of segregated zones for business and leisure, everything is integrated, creating vibrant, dynamic communities where interactions happen naturally. This design not only encourages a more active and engaged lifestyle, but also significantly reduces the environmental impact associated with long commutes and sprawling infrastructure. Going deeper into how such a revolutionary city will be brought to life, it's clear that a multitude of partners is involved in making the line a reality. This isn't a project that any single entity could tackle on its own. It's a collaborative effort that brings together world-class architects, engineers, technology experts, construction companies, and government agencies. Among the notable names are visionary architects like David Ajay, Ben van Berkel from UN Studios, and the creative teams at Zaha Hadid Architects and Koop Himmelbertelde EU, who have lent their talents to ensure that the design is as functional as it is futuristic. More recently, Delugan, Meisel and Gensler have been tapped to spearhead the first phase of construction, indicating that the project continues to evolve as new challenges and opportunities arise. Each partner brings a unique set of skills and expertise to the table. The architects, for example, are tasked with transforming the conceptual vision into detailed designs that not only look stunning, but also address the practical demands of living in a high-tech, high-density environment. They consider everything from aesthetics to environmental sustainability, ensuring that every building and public space harmonizes with the overall vision of minimalism and efficiency. Engineers and construction experts are equally critical in this process. Their role is to translate these visionary designs into tangible structures that can withstand the extreme conditions of the Saudi desert. This means grappling with challenges such as seismic activity, high temperatures, and the unpredictable nature of desert soil. In response, they are utilizing advanced construction methods, one of the most notable being the use of foundation piles. Foundation piles are not a new technology. They have been used for decades in construction projects around the world. However, in the context of the line, their use is particularly critical. These piles are driven deep into the ground to create a stable base for the heavy structures that will eventually rise above. By March 2023, reports indicated that over 4,500 foundation piles had already been driven into what is known as Module 43, a key part of the planned structure. These piles provide the necessary support in a region where the soil can be unpredictable and the potential for seismic activity is a real concern. The piles are formed by either driving pre-made concrete segments into the ground or by pouring concrete into drilled shafts that are then reinforced with steel. Specialized machinery, ranging from massive pile drivers to high-powered excavators and drilling rigs, is employed in this process. These machines work around the clock, carefully installing thousands of piles that will serve as the skeleton for the city's towering structures. The choice to use foundation piles is driven by both necessity and innovation. In a desert environment with shifting sands and variable geology, traditional shallow foundations simply would not provide the stability required for such an ambitious structure. The piles act like deep roots, anchoring the city securely while also reducing the effects of natural challenges such as seismic tremors and the relentless heat of the desert. Moreover, given the enormous scale of the project, there is absolutely no room for mistakes or shortcuts. Every pile must be installed with precision, as even a small error could have destructive effects on the overall structural integrity. To ensure this level of quality, the project incorporates advanced robotics and AI-powered monitoring systems. These systems provide real-time feedback on the installation process, using sensors and data analytics to detect any deviations from the planned specifications. In this way, technology not only speeds up the construction process, but also guarantees a level of accuracy that would be impossible to achieve through human labor alone. Once these foundation piles are securely in place, the next phase of construction begins. On top of this network of piles, the city's superstructure will start to take shape. The plan is to build two massive continuous towers that will extend along the entire length of the line. These structures will serve as the backbone for the entire city, supporting multiple levels of residential, commercial, and recreational spaces. Imagine neighborhoods built vertically with entire communities stacked above one another, each level dedicated to different aspects of life, from living quarters and offices to schools, hospitals, and parks. The innovative design ensures that residents will have immediate access to everything they need without ever having to leave their block. This vertical integration is a departure from conventional urban planning, where functions are often separated by significant distances. In the line, the concept of neighborhood takes on a new meaning, where the boundaries between work, home, and leisure blur into one integration. The architects and urban planners behind these neighborhoods are some of the best in the world. They are working closely with the engineering teams to create spaces that are not only functional but also aesthetically pleasing and environmentally sustainable. These designers envision a community where green spaces, water features, and natural light play as important a role as high-speed transit systems and state-of-the-art digital connectivity. In one imagined scenario, residents might start their day in a high-rise apartment with panoramic views of the desert, walk to a nearby school or office, and then relax in a park that feels more like a natural oasis than an urban park. The design is meant to foster a sense of community and well-being, where technology and nature coexist in a balanced, harmonious way. Of course, no project of this magnitude is without its financial challenges. The initial budget for the line was set at a staggering $500 billion, and the original vision was equally ambitious, a 170-kilometer-long city designed to house 1.5 million residents by 2030. However, as construction progressed, various financial constraints began to emerge. Delays in budget approvals from Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, combined with other economic pressures, have led to a scaling back of the original vision. This downscaling has naturally raised questions about whether the initial budget is sufficient or if additional funds will be required. NEOM's financial struggles. No doubt NEOM was supposed to be the future, a sci-fi-inspired megacity that would redefine urban living and showcase Saudi Arabia's ambitious Vision 2030. Designed as a high-tech utopia in the desert, it promised flying taxis, AI-driven infrastructure, and a completely sustainable way of life. The line, its most iconic project, was envisioned as a 170-kilometer-long, mirror-clad city stretching across the northwest, housing 9 million people in a car-free, hyper-efficient environment. But as time goes on, cracks in the vision are becoming harder to ignore, and at the heart of it all lies one unavoidable problem: money. NEOM's funding comes primarily from the Saudi Public Investment Fund, which has aggressively poured billions into the project. However, Saudi Arabia's economy is still heavily reliant on oil, and fluctuating oil prices have put enormous strain on the government's ability to finance such large-scale developments. The International Monetary Fund estimates that Saudi Arabia needs oil prices to be around $96 per barrel to balance its budget, yet prices have been hovering below $80. This shortfall has forced the government to get creative with its finances. Instead of directly acknowledging the strain, it has been using financial maneuvers to raise money without it appearing on official balance sheets. For instance, state-owned oil giant Aramco has been borrowing heavily to maintain large dividend payouts, a significant portion of which flow into PIF, allowing it to continue funding NEOM. Despite these efforts, NEOM is already facing major setbacks. The line, which was supposed to be fully operational by 2030, may only see 5 kilometers of construction completed by then, a mere fraction of the original vision. This delay is largely due to the astronomical costs and logistical challenges of building a city in such an extreme environment. Constructing two 500-meter tall mirrored walls in the middle of the desert is not only a financial burden, but also an engineering nightmare. Questions are also being raised about the practicality of the design. While the city is meant to be a vertical solution to urban sprawl, critics argue that such an enclosed, rigid structure could feel more dystopian than futuristic. But that's not all. Another issue complicating NEOM's progress is its workforce and management structure. Reports suggest that foreign executives working on the project are earning exorbitant salaries, while the laborers, many of whom are low-wage migrant workers, face harsh conditions. Hundreds, if not thousands, of workers have reportedly died, despite the fact that construction has yet to move beyond the foundational stage. The leadership shakeup last year, which saw longtime CEO Nadmi Al-Nasser replaced by Ayman Al-Mudaifa, reflects the growing concern over mismanagement. The new leadership now faces the difficult task of convincing investors, particularly from China, that NEOM is still worth their money. The Saudi government remains committed to the project, but the pressure to deliver is mounting. With major global events such as the 2029 Asian Winter Games, the 2030 World Expo in Riyadh and the 2034 FIFA World Cup on the horizon, the government is eager to maintain investor confidence and keep up appearances. However, if NEOM does not start producing tangible results soon, both foreign investors and the Saudi public may begin to question whether it was all just an expensive fantasy. NEOM was meant to be a game changer, a bold step into the future, but without sustainable funding and realistic execution, it risks becoming one of the world's most extravagant unfinished projects. The coming years will determine whether Saudi Arabia can turn this ambitious dream into reality, or if NEOM will join the growing list of overhyped mega projects that never lived up to expectations. The Saudi government is actively exploring options to bridge the gap, including the possibility of attracting foreign investors. However, many potential investors have been hesitant, citing concerns about transparency, project feasibility, and the enormous financial risks involved. In response, public-private partnerships are being considered as a means to secure additional funding while also distributing the financial risk among multiple stakeholders. Alongside the financial hurdles, there is also significant scrutiny over the human side of this colossal undertaking. As construction progresses at a breakneck pace, reports have emerged concerning the treatment of the workers who are making this futuristic city a reality. Stories of displacement and exploitation have been a recurring theme in discussions about the line. Many of the workers, who come from diverse parts of the world, are reportedly subject to long hours, harsh working conditions, and in some instances, inadequate living arrangements. This has sparked a global conversation about labor rights and the responsibilities of the government and private companies involved. Moreover, the indigenous populations in the region, people who have lived in these desert areas for generations, are also at the heart of the debate. There have been concerns that the construction of the line might lead to the displacement of these communities, with some reports suggesting that local residents are being pressured to relocate to make way for the new development. The international community has been quick to voice its concerns over these practices, and human rights organizations are closely monitoring the situation. Although the Saudi government has publicly stated that all measures are being taken to ensure fair treatment and proper compensation for those affected, the ongoing reports and testimonies from the ground continue to fuel a debate that shows no signs of abating. At the same time, the environmental impact of such a massive construction project cannot be overlooked. The line is being built in a unique desert environment that, despite its harsh appearance, supports a variety of ecosystems. The region is home to several rare plant and animal species, many of which have adapted to survive in extreme conditions. The extensive excavation work, the installation of thousands of foundation piles, and the overall transformation of the landscape have raised alarms among environmental analysts. There is concern that the disruption of the natural habitat could lead to irreversible changes in the local ecosystem. While the project's planners have touted the line's commitment to sustainability, emphasizing renewable energy, water recycling systems, and eco-friendly building practices, the sheer scale of the construction raises questions about long-term environmental consequences. Some experts warn that, despite the best intentions, the transformation of a pristine desert landscape into a densely populated urban environment could have far-reaching impacts on the local climate, water resources, and biodiversity. These concerns are compounded by the fact that the city's reliance on AI and advanced monitoring systems means that every aspect of the environment will be under constant surveillance, potentially creating new challenges related to data privacy and the ethics of pervasive digital monitoring. Speaking of AI, one of the most futuristic elements of the line is its heavy reliance on advanced robotics, AI-powered monitoring systems, and next-generation construction technologies. In many ways, the project is a testing ground for technologies that could redefine how we build and operate cities in the future. Robotics are being used not only in the installation of foundation piles, but also in various other construction processes, from earth moving to precision drilling and material handling. AI systems are integrated into the construction process to monitor everything in real time, ensuring that each phase of development adheres to exacting standards. These systems collect vast amounts of data on everything from soil conditions to structural loads, using advanced analytics to predict potential issues years before they become critical. The integration of these technologies means that the construction process is not only faster and more efficient, but also incredibly precise. However, this reliance on AI also raises important questions about privacy. In a city where every aspect of infrastructure is monitored by digital sensors and analyzed by powerful algorithms, residents may find themselves constantly under observation. This level of surveillance, even if designed to enhance safety and efficiency, could be seen as an intrusion into personal privacy, a trade-off that must be carefully managed as the project moves forward. Once the foundation piles are in place and the advanced systems have ensured that everything is stable and secure, the next phase involves building on top of these piles. This is where the vision of integrated vertical neighborhoods really comes into play. The piles form the bedrock upon which the city's towering structures will be erected. These structures are not simply buildings in the traditional sense. They are entire ecosystems in themselves, designed to accommodate the full spectrum of urban life. On one level, you might have residential apartments with smart home technologies and eco-friendly designs. On another, there will be office spaces equipped with state-of-the-art communication systems and collaborative work environments. Then there are the leisure areas, parks, cultural centers, sports facilities, and even hidden marinas that connect the city to the natural beauty of the nearby sea. This multi-layered design ensures that every function of daily life is integrated into the city's core, minimizing the need for long commutes and creating a sense of closeness among residents. The vision is that of a truly connected community where the boundaries between work, home, and recreation are seamlessly blended. The people behind the design of these neighborhoods are a mix of internationally renowned architects, urban planners, and local experts. Their collective goal is to create spaces that not only meet modern needs, but also inspire a sense of wonder and pride among residents. They are tasked with designing neighborhoods that balance functionality with beauty, efficiency with comfort, and technological advancement with human touch. The designs are continuously evolving as feedback from various stakeholders, including potential residents, investors, and local communities, is incorporated into the planning process. In this sense, the line is as much a social experiment as it is an architectural and engineering marvel. While the vision and the technological prowess behind the line are undeniably impressive, the project is not without its critics and challenges. Financially, the project has raised more questions than answers in some circles. As the complexities of construction and economic realities have set in, it appears that even such a massive financial commitment might not be immune to overruns and unexpected expenses. The scaling back of the project, whereby only a small portion of the planned length and population may be realized in the early stages, has sparked debates about whether the initial budget will need to be increased. Critics argue that the sheer scale and ambition of the project, combined with the innovative construction methods and technologies, could easily lead to cost escalations. In response, the Saudi Arabian government is exploring multiple avenues for funding, including tapping into foreign investment and establishing public-private partnerships. However, potential foreign investors have shown reluctance, partly due to concerns over transparency, geopolitical risks, and the uncertain return on such an unprecedented investment. These financial constraints are not just a matter of numbers. They also reflect the immense pressure on all parties involved to deliver a project that is as much a proof of concept as it is a practical urban solution. As we shift our focus from the technological and financial dimensions of the line to the human side of the story, it becomes evident that the construction of such a massive project carries significant social implications. The workers on the ground, engineers, laborers, machine operators, and countless support staff are the unsung heroes behind this futuristic city. Yet, there have been growing concerns about their working conditions, with reports of long hours, challenging labor environments, and even instances of exploitation. Many workers are drawn from various parts of the world, often leaving behind their families and familiar surroundings in pursuit of better opportunities. Unfortunately, the harsh realities of working on a project of this magnitude in the unforgiving desert can sometimes lead to stories of displacement and mistreatment. There have been reports that some of these workers have experienced substandard living conditions, inadequate safety measures, and, in rare cases, tragic fatalities. Although the exact number of deaths deaths or injuries is difficult to confirm amidst conflicting reports, what is clear is that the international community is watching closely. Human rights organizations and labor advocates have raised serious questions about whether the drive for technological and financial success is coming at too high a human cost. In response, both local authorities and project partners have issued statements emphasizing their commitment to improving working conditions and ensuring fair treatment for all workers. However, these assurances have done little to quiet the ongoing debates in international media and among activists who argue that the pressure to deliver on an ambitious project like the Line may lead to corners being cut at the expense of human dignity. In addition to the technological and environmental challenges, there is the ever-present question of timelines. Projects of this scale are notoriously unpredictable in terms of construction time. Historically, mega projects that involve extensive new technology and unprecedented designs can take decades to fully realize. While the initial goal for the Line was to be partially operational by 2030, many industry experts caution that even with the latest construction technologies and efficient project management systems in place, delays are almost inevitable. These delays are not merely a matter of scheduling, they have financial, social, and political implications as well. Each setback can increase costs, disrupt planned investments, and further complicate the logistics of coordinating an international workforce. And yet, despite these challenges, the teams behind the Line remain upbeat and determined. The blend of robotics, AI, and next-generation construction techniques is seen as a beacon of what the future of urban development might look like, a future where technology and human ingenuity come together to overcome even the most daunting obstacles. Once the foundational phase is complete and the network of piles firmly anchors the city to the ground, the next steps involve constructing the superstructure that will define the living spaces of the Line. This phase is where the abstract visions of urban planners begin to take on physical form. The massive towers that will rise above the desert are designed not only to house residents, but also to encapsulate entire neighborhoods. These neighborhoods will be crafted with a keen eye for detail, ensuring that each community has a distinct identity while also being part of the larger urban tapestry. Designers are envisioning a variety of neighborhood types, from high-density residential zones with compact, efficient living spaces to more sprawling, mixed-use areas that blend commercial, recreational, and cultural functions. The aim is to create environments that are both functional and inspiring, where every detail, from the layout of parks and public spaces to the placement of schools, offices, and hospitals, is optimized for the well-being of residents. Throughout this entire process, every step of the construction is supported by a vast array of machinery and human expertise. Heavy-duty excavators, pile drivers, drilling rigs, and advanced concrete pumps work in concert with state-of-the-art robotic systems and AI-powered monitoring platforms to ensure that every aspect of the project is executed flawlessly. There is an unspoken understanding among all the teams involved that the scale of the Line leaves no margin for error. In an environment where a single miscalculation can lead to catastrophic consequences, the commitment to precision is absolute. The construction teams operate under strict safety protocols, and every piece of equipment is maintained to the highest standards. This meticulous attention to detail is not just about meeting deadlines or budgets, it's about laying the foundation for a city that is meant to last for generations, even in the face of natural and man-made challenges. In addition to the technical and logistical challenges, there is also the matter of public perception and international scrutiny. As the project has advanced, media outlets and analysts from around the world have weighed in on both the promise and the pitfalls of the Line. On one hand, there is admiration for the sheer ambition of reimagining urban living on such a scale. On the other, there are concerns about whether the project can truly deliver on its lofty promises, particularly given the financial, environmental, and social challenges it faces. Critics point to the history of mega projects where delays, cost overruns, and unfulfilled promises are all too common as a cautionary tale. They question whether the bold vision of the Line is simply an idealistic dream, or if it can truly be grounded in practical reality. Proponents, however, argue that even if the project does not fully fully realize every aspect of its initial vision, the lessons learned from its development will pave the way for a new era of sustainable, technology-driven urban design. This debate is likely to continue as the line moves closer to completion, with every new development adding another layer to an already complex narrative. In this grand tapestry of ambition, technology, and human endeavor, every detail matters. The decision to use foundation piles, a time-tested method adapted to the unique challenges of a desert environment, is one such detail. These piles, carefully installed by state-of-the-art machinery and monitored by AI systems, form the backbone of the project. They ensure that the massive superstructure that will eventually rise is securely anchored, capable of withstanding not only the weight of millions of residents and the pressures of daily life, but also the natural challenges posed by seismic activity and extreme heat. The precision with which these piles are installed speaks volumes about the meticulous planning that has gone into the line. Every aspect of the construction, from the movement of 1 million cubic meters of earth each week at the marina site to the installation of thousands of piles in critical modules, is a testament to the scale and complexity of this visionary project. The challenges are many, from ensuring that every foundation pile is perfectly in place to managing the complex logistics of a multinational workforce, from safeguarding the delicate desert ecosystem to addressing the privacy concerns that come with a digitally monitored city. Yet, the enthusiasm and determination of those involved in the line suggest that these challenges are not insurmountable. With each new development, whether it's the installation of another 1,000 piles or the rollout of an AI system to oversee construction quality, the project moves closer to turning what once seemed like a distant dream into a tangible reality. Looking forward, one can only imagine the possibilities that a successful realization of the line might unlock. The neighborhoods built atop those meticulously installed foundation piles could serve as models for future urban developments, where the integration of living, working, and leisure spaces creates communities that are both resilient and vibrant. The advanced technologies employed during construction, ranging from autonomous machinery to real-time AI monitoring, could set new standards for efficiency and safety in the construction industry worldwide. Meanwhile, the lessons learned from managing the enormous financial and logistical challenges of this mega project may provide invaluable insights for other nations and developers undertaking similarly ambitious ventures. Back on the construction site, progress is slowly taking shape. The latest satellite images of the hidden marina reveal a new excavation underway, with hundreds of trucks actively shifting dirt. While NEOM executives admit that completing and fully populating the line could take 100 years, a more concrete deadline is now set. One of its skyscrapers, towering 350 meters high, will host a stadium that is set to be an official venue for the 2034 World Cup. As the construction continues and each new milestone is reached, the world watches with anticipation and hope. The line is more than a physical structure. It is a symbol of a new way of thinking about urban life, a promise that our cities can be more than just places to live and work, but vibrant communities where technology, nature, and humanity coexist in harmony. And while the path ahead is uncertain, the collective effort to overcome these challenges offers a glimpse of what might be possible when we dare to dream big and build even bigger. As 2025 keeps unfolding, the line continues to push the boundaries of urban innovation, turning bold concepts into reality. With each milestone, this revolutionary project brings us closer to a future where sustainability, technology, and human-centric design redefine the way we live. But even the most ambitious projects come with their challenges. Curious about the biggest construction mistakes in the world? Watch this next video to see what can go wrong and what we can learn from it.